I know we knew it was going to happen when we saw the polls going, and Recchi ran possibly one of the worst campaigns I've ever seen, earning marble mouth as a thing. But my gosh, I mean, you and I are the cynics here. Okay, let's keep the poor chairman out of this. He's got some leverage when he's looking at this 20-count indictment, doesn't he? Talk about how this usually works here. They know this thing's going to go in December. If he's going to say, "You want me to go quietly? No jail time, no nothing. I'm a re-elected congressman," that counts for something when you're talking to the feds, making a deal, right?
Well, how this goes, there are a couple of ways to look at this. One, he's up against a tough case. That is Michael Grimm, recently re-elected against the feds. And he's up against a tough U.S. attorney that's being considered for the attorney general's job. So the feds probably got the goods on him. But after his re-election, he may decide to ride it out and see if he can win, or pre-trial motions, basically starting now, you try and cut a deal with the feds that basically says, Richard, as you well know, listen, I'll go away quietly, I'll take the conviction, but no jail time. So that is what we are looking at. And remember, you still have Malcolm Smith, the state senator, who's looking at the same situation. Although in Malcolm Smith's case, he is looking at the possibility of actually going to jail.
Interesting how that plays out. You know, one thing, Chairman, which we went up and down the valley, talked to all the candidates, and Gibson very proudly said, "I'm the most moderate Republican," if you look at my voting record, and by impartial observers when they rated it. And he made a point of that. He made a point of that in every interview that we did with him. He made a point of his campaign literature and everything else. Some people run away from that. He embraced it. Is that kind of, especially if you're in a Northeast state, good politics to say that you're moderate?
Look, it worked for him, and he is. We have a terrific delegation now of 9 members of Congress, maybe 10 if we beat Louise Slaughter. And while the Democrats have 18 or would have 17. That is really very important for the people in New York State, considering that we now have a record majority in the House of Representatives. It could be close to 250.
Before we wrap this segment, a little birdie told me that if it goes the way that many expect from Mr. Grimm, there's already names emerging if there were a special election, including a very familiar name for Staten Island, Mr. Fasella. Are you hearing some of the same things?
Well, let me just say, you're getting way ahead of the game here in your cynicism.
There's
a political smell to this indictment, and its timing and the personnel involved and what the subject matter is. It was not about what the initial investigation was about, his campaign finances.
I do remember that every Republican ran away from him. Nobody was with him. And by the way, he had a campaign staff of him, probably one other person, no money. No Republican showed up, no endorsement. I mean, so I do find it interesting that all of a sudden now he's a lot prettier than he was 3 weeks ago.
We did not run away from him. We put out flyers for him. We did mailings about it. And he did a tremendous service for his constituents when he whipped together the majority in the House to get Sandy
And he can throw a reporter over
Island.
a balcony better than anybody. All right.
Threatened to.
Yeah, thank you. Important clarification. All right, coming up next year.